I chose to call my opening sequence for a horror film Unexplained because the other character has no explanation for why she didn't meet up with the protagonist. This raises several enigma codes in my audience. They will be questioning why I've used Unexplained as the title. The font I used was called October Crow, and this jagged, uneven font style in the blood red colour clearly portrays the horror genre. I chose to subvert the convention of having my opening sequence in just one setting. Having the first part of my opening sequence in a playground challenges the conventions of several horror films, such as Paranormal Activity and The Evil Dead. I then chose to go back to common horror film conventions and have a small part of my opening sequence set in a forest, much like the setting in Splinter and Wicked Little Things. Keeping some conventions the same and subverting some has given my opening sequence some balance, which is, in my opinion, what a good horror opening sequence should have. Stereotypically, most teenagers text now to organise things, such as meeting up with friends, and that is exactly what my protagonist is doing. This opens up the story for the audience, as the target audience of this opening sequence is teenagers, so they can easily relate to the protagonist. This shot shows that something has obviously disturbed the main character, and the fact that she's looking directly at the camera could suggest that she is looking at the antagonist. Her natural instinct is to run away from the antagonist, and that's exactly what she does in the next few shots. Once again, this shot shows a typical convention of someone going into the forest, being brave, and trying to find out what's going on. This again tells my target audience that this is a horror film. This also implies that this is a different setting of the opening sequence, which may or may not bring a new dimension to this opening sequence. This shot alerts the audience that there is a new character in this opening sequence, and this could make them on edge, as they don't know if this new character will cause any danger to the protagonist. This is very similar to films like Vampire Circus and High Tension, as both of these films are set in mysterious woods. This shot shows the audience, the character, and the setting, which again opens up the story. The fact that the girl is looking around for something or someone can keep the audience on edge, and the establishing shot of the forest obeys the conventions of horror films, which again heightens the tension. The establishing shot of the forest shows the audience that the action will be set in a different place. The fact that I have used a forest as my second location obeys the common conventions of the horror genre. This has been used in Satan's Playground, so this reinforces the idea to the audience. This is probably the first shot where my target audience get a proper look at the costume of my protagonist. As you can tell, the costume choice is casual, which creates a sense of realism and lets the audience know that this sort of thing could happen to anyone. This, again, reinforces my genre and possibly raises enigma codes, like, what will happen to Emily? Will she be okay? The coat that Emily is wearing is black, and this connotes mystery, and black is also a stereotypical horror colour, again making the genre clear.